Hey guys, welcome back to our fourth episode of Crypto Chat with Nicholas. How are you, Nicholas?
Hey guys, and I gotta say hi to my friends from aus Österreich.
Yeah,
Uh, is
pretty
that
good,
that's how I
pretty
say it
good.
in German? No. Anyway, it's been an interesting week. You guys just got back from your what was it, like a winter
Yeah, I
vacation,
was just
right?
skiing. Yeah, it's a thing to do in Austria.
Yeah, you don't really see many like only white people ski, but that's a whole nother topic. Let's stick to crypto. That is such a white people sport. I actually really want to try. I never tried it. I have really fucked up knees, so I can't really ski. But yeah, it's been like I've been seeing some interesting things happening in crypto. Now it's not like actual things happening in crypto, but just some observations which led me to interesting conclusions. And the first thing I just have to mention right away is who has money left for marketing. We all know crypto, it relies so heavily on marketing, and that's what keeps the price up a lot. And if we look at the picture behind me, this is what I've seen on CoinMarketCap just recently. I spent a lot of time researching different projects, coins, whatever, and these two seem to have a lot of money for marketing. And guess what? Both are complete effing scams. So like there is, if we just look at like who has money left to market, a good way to judge it is just to open CoinMarketCap and see who's advertising, because CoinMarketCap is a go-to place for all the
Yeah,
ICOs or anybody that wants to spend money, and they're pretty expensive. It's like $14 a pop, so like $14 for every thousand just page loads. That's what how much these guys have to pay to be on here, and or more. So this is a complete like BitConnect ripoff, like BitConnect 2.0,
Yeah, for,
complete.
for instance, I can remember like a year ago, it was BitConnect's logo up there.
Yeah,
I can
BitConnect
remember, yeah.
was right here a year ago,
Yeah,
and now these guys are offering 3%, it's just like three times as much as BitConnect,
yeah,
and they'll probably last maybe a month and then be
yeah,
gone. And then there's these guys right here who are like crypto betting site, which is just a sister site of 1x bet. This is 1x bit. Both are like the most notorious scammers in the betting industry. And I ran into the CEO of Hackin in the CoinMarketCap chat as I was making fun of these scams and asking them to take it down. And he actually said that these guys are owned by like Ukrainian mafia. So I mean, it just goes to show like,
yeah,
who has money left these days. So I think this is a good example that we are almost like this is it. Like this is basically the bottom. Like the only people left with money are scammers.
yeah. And especially also new people. Like one of the first pages they get to is basically CoinMarketCap. It's just where everyone checks out the prices and they think, oh, great advertisements about that project. I'm gonna look into it. So yeah, it's it's pretty much the bottom, like market wise,
But it's
psychological
interesting
wise.
how some of my trader friends are very heavily saying that just because we're down whatever 90 something percent doesn't mean we cannot go down another 60%, because welcome to crypto. So even though this is about to be the longest bear market so far, they're quite vocal about the fact that there's still too many people still have money, even though most are
Yeah,
capitulating. They're saying not enough have capitulated yet.
but
So
I think
it's kind of a mixed bag of opinions.
yeah, but I think already it is the longest bear market. I think the longest period was like 410 days, and we're already at like 420 days or something like
I
that.
think we hit the low at 400 and was like 10 days. So unless we go down some more, it will not be the longest bear market.
Yeah,
So we have to hit another low first.
it's pretty similar, which
Yeah.
also is a good sign actually, because it shows that it's all about market cycles.
and the halvening of Bitcoin
Yeah, for sure.
plays a huge role, probably.
Yeah, we'll see. So yeah, and talking about scams, um, the opposite kind of
ETFs.
is to you know, how to store your crypto that is kind of the opposite of like spending time on scams. But there is also a company that kind of
Yes,
a little bit of
Even that
scammy.
subject
brings
is
me
safe,
to
right?
another topic. I mean, this is not a scam company. They're actually
No.
they're actually very legit. I really like their idea. Let me just find a nice picture of these guys for you. It's called the Crypto Tag, and it looks just like this. So you have this pretty much a hammer, a piece of like, what is this? Some like titanium, like basically a titanium card, and then some a letter engraving like piece of metal with like letters which you can stamp in with a hammer, just hammer this shit in. And this set like costs like $100 and $200 or something. But I was actually I saw this picture of this in the CoinMarketCap chat, and I immediately checked the price. I was like, this is outrageous. I mean, this shows that it kind of reminds me of the reason we are in the bear market in the first place is because people have a really bad time at judging when things are overpriced. And when I saw the price tag of this, I was like, this is so overpriced. It took me 5 seconds to confirm this, just typing into Amazon, like letter engravers, like these things right here behind me. These cost like 10, this thing right here, like 27, 26 letters costs like less than $20, maybe like $10. Hammer, we all know it's like, $5 hammer or something. And titanium is actually just a waste of money. You could just get a piece of aluminum, which is also corrosion resistant, and the stamping will be deeper because it's a bit softer. Aluminum is a bit softer than titanium, so you can get a piece of aluminum this size for like a couple dollars, like nothing. You can get a whole like sheet of aluminum, like a huge one, for like, I don't know, $5. So all this stuff, you can do this yourself for like $10, and I might actually order some aluminum and order some like letter engravers myself, and it's just like I don't see why people would. I guess the only reason people might buy this is because of this pretty cool like anvil over here, which is a nice like holder to like make everything really neat and organized.
And tell us quickly how it actually works for people that have never seen this before. How
essentially. There's like two types of ways to store your private keys. I mean, the most popular is the BIP39, which is essentially just a 24 word combination. It's like simple English words. There's like 2,000 possible words, 2,048 I think possible words, and there's 24 of these words. We have to be in a certain order. And these represent the seed of multiple wallets. So you can pretty much make an infinite number of wallets using this specific seed, and you just gotta not lose the seed. And the seed is essentially your private key. So this is like a version of a private key, which is more human friendly and easier for humans to type in, easier for humans to store and write down. So but all you need is the first 4 letters of each word, because each word is only between 3 and 8 letters, and as long as you know the first 4 letters, you'll know which exact word it is. So you would just store like 4 letters times 24, which is help me out here, like less than 100 letters.
92.
There you go, 92. So you just need to store like an order of 92 letters.
96 actually. Never
There
mind.
you go, 96 letters and a piece of like metal, just stamp it in. And it's a pretty simple process. So it's pretty much your personal private key for a bunch of possible wallets. And it's a really convenient way to just put in a piece of metal and bury it like somewhere. And like you can pretty much... if you make that the only copy of your private key, that shit is it's as safe as it gets, because first of all, it takes you time to access, so you won't like be impulsive in spending your crypto, because it takes a long time for you to find it, dig it up, enter it into like a treasure or something, and then recover it. This way, I think it's better than a safety deposit box.
Yeah.
As long as you don't forget where you buried it. That would suck.
And then what price would you think would be like fitting?
Like if it was like less than $100, I'll just buy it myself, because it's ready for you. It's so simple.
Yeah.
But at $200, I would just not waste the money. I'm all about being humble and not overspending, because that money can be used better elsewhere. Like $1 now worth so much more in the future in the bull run.
So much more crypto. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. And yeah, regarding these little advancements, like in Argentina, for example, a couple days ago, it was made possible to pay your like public transport tickets or buy them with crypto. And like, do you think people are actually gonna use that, or do you think it's just like a good step forward for the case if Bitcoin actually gets adopted there even more?
Well, the beautiful thing is when adoption happens, it'll happen really fast in these, let's call them third world countries. I mean, Argentina is like super civilized, so no offense to any Argentinian people, but it's still not like a first world country. So these countries like Argentina and some like Eastern European countries, some Southeast Asian countries, a bunch of African countries, most of Latin America. We will see all adoption happen there first, because these are countries which are yet to hit a high level of industrialization, a high level of capitalism, and just like we see China trying to catch up to US at the moment, these countries will go through their own, digitalization, industrialization anytime now. And when this happens, they'll be at a better position to implement these new technologies. So they'll actually be better off than America, than China pretty soon. And then once America and China see these countries like having really good infrastructure in place, and start seeing them that these guys are essentially doing everything they do, but better and more decentralized, it'll be just, a game of, catch up pretty much.
Yeah. Also, regarding these countries, I saw a very interesting graph from Local Bitcoins. Like, Local Bitcoins is a site where you can meet up with people.
Oh, I love that website.
Yeah, and they put offers there, and you can just meet up and buy like over the counter crypto basically. And I saw a graph where people where they showed the statistics from the usage of local bitcoins in Peru, Venezuela, Chile, I think some of those countries in Latin America, and the transactions and interactions they went up heavily really in the last months. So that is very interesting to see that these countries are really stepping up.
Also when you look at Iran, like Google search, Iran is now all the way up there in like where to buy Bitcoin and stuff. It's crazy.
It's wow.
And Nigeria.
And the same thing's happening with countries like India. We see, like just recently, I think that T-Series, the YouTube channel, like Indian YouTube channel for like, it's basically like an Indian version of like Vimeo or something, or Vivo. What's that music production called? So we there just became the biggest subscriber count on YouTube, and like PewDiePie is no longer number one, right? So this just goes to show that even though like
Western countries just to pass him, like today or what, or like the last day, because I think there's like this huge battle going on between PewDiePie and T-Series for the last.
Doesn't matter.
Weeks.
They'll pass him.
It's
if
crazy,
they haven't passed him, they will pass him.
True.
They're becoming so much more in line right now, and the Western countries are no longer the hub of all the internet happening. These number one spots will just get taken up more and more by countries like India, which are becoming like a really, really high number of internet users.
Yeah, I even heard that Indians that create a YouTube account, they automatically subscribe to T-Series. So yeah, that's what I heard. So it's that way they also surpass PewDiePie, because they have very, very like few views or like little views compared to PewDiePie, but still, yeah, they surpassed him. So that was probably the reason. But yeah.
I think countries like Russia will play a really important part in all the crypto revolution, because at the end of the day, it's always an arms race of something. It's always right now the battles are no longer fought, with like swords or guns. They're fought like, it's economical battles where countries are trying to like just like there was a issue with the price of oil like just falling to through the floor. It was I think it was quite obvious. It was a move played by the Western countries to make Russia's economy fall apart, and they were able to survive that. And now they're probably going to do some like countermeasure and try to like do something that's going to affect the American economy. So it's like a battle even like before. Battles and wars were fought, these advanced economic schemes. Battles are always about, which country is going to outlast the other one economically, and then it's a marathon. Who's going to survive longer and have enough money for war and for funding and all this development and research and military. So it's a nonstop like competition between all these countries. Who's gonna have the next strongest weapon and the biggest number of it? Who's gonna produce it the fastest? Who's gonna develop it the fastest? And we might see the same thing in crypto be used in economic warfare, which, even though it sounds bad, will benefit the users of crypto.
Yeah. Money is one of the most effective weapons out there, actually. Yeah.
So there was a big a conspiracy, I'm not sure how else to call it, that the reason Libya fell apart and Gaddafi was essentially taken down was because of his attempt to create a gold-backed currency. I'm not sure how true this information is, but I've heard a lot of people talking about it that this may not be called common knowledge, but that the reason he was essentially taken down by bigger powers with the excuse of democracy, right? Was that he was trying to create something like a gold-backed currency, the Afra, right? Which was gonna help all the African nations have like a stable thing to trade other than a dollar. And this, of course, did not, was poking the monster in the eye. And he's no longer around, right? So it's not constantly someone is constantly trying to do something better for their economy, but if it's against the economies of other nations, they might just step on that smaller country, right?
Yeah, but in Bitcoin case, it's not one person, and it's really hard to stop. So like it's hard for a government to really not allow it, because if other countries do it and people want to use it, they just move out of the country that bans it, for example.
In fact, adopting Bitcoin is the only possible move for a country.
I don't know. I mean, can you take out Bitcoin? Like, what would happen? Like, let's just speak hypothetically here. What would happen if USDT, the Tether, right, which is the most commonly traded pair with Bitcoin, is an attempt to sabotage? What if USDT is just a big kamikaze coin, which is gonna pretty much try to get as close to Bitcoin as possible, and then exit scam and try to be the next Mt. Gox, right? Maybe if I was the government and if I really need to take down crypto, that's what I would do. I would make maybe even Ripple or okay, that's a bad example. I don't know. I'm not saying Ripple is a government conspiracy theory. I'm just saying coins which try to get closer to Bitcoin or overtake it, and then blow themselves up and take down lots of users' funds is a really good way to pretty much put some shady PR and push some people away from crypto, right?
Yeah.
I mean, Tether hit number 5, for God's sake, a couple days ago. Now it's number 7 or 8.
Yeah, I mean, Tether kind of stays at around 2 billion, and people use it, but people don't use it that much. There are more options now. There are more stable coins, and I don't think Tether will get.
But people don't realize. I just saw statistics somewhere that people don't realize it only takes around 400 million liquid cash to keep a Bitcoin at its current price. So the reason Bitcoin is staying around 3,600 right now is because there's around a $400 million support there. That's all it took to keep it there.
Yeah,
so people don't realize how little money actually takes to put a fixed price or to just move the floor anywhere around, anywhere.
Yeah. So the market is so heavily inflated by fiat right now. I mean in general.
Yeah, I mean the question is really how the whole Tether thing will play out, of course. I think Yeah.
As we'd like to say, a necessary evil.
Yeah, but I think if Tether blows up basically, and definitely we'll see like a decrease in the market also because of FUD, but I don't think that in the long term it would have that much of an impact, you know. That's the point.
I think we need much more stable coins, not only Tether. And
Yeah,
we're
and
seeing
that's
this
happening,
actually,
yeah.
and that's happening. That's a good thing.
I heard a really good trader say that people don't realize, but the top 100 will be only stable coins and Bitcoin forks very shortly. Which was a really scary thing to hear from a really good trader.
Yeah.
So he claims that there's a really good chance we can go a lot lower, and the result of that will be the top 100 will the only coins left in the top 100 is going to be just a bunch of stable coins and a bunch of Bitcoin forks. And we all know Bitcoin forks are the ones who have inflated market caps, which make no sense.
I mean, I don't really would get the reasoning for that, but I mean, we'll see anyways. But I don't know why this would necessarily be the case. Also, if, for example, Tether blows up, I also heard people say that money would go into Bitcoin then. Like if Tether blows up, people would put it into Bitcoin.
If it blows up, how are they going to take the money out of Tether in the first place?
Yes, by selling it for.
But if it just drops to 0.1 cents,
Yeah,
how are you going to sell it?
Of course. Then it's gone immediately. But I think that this wouldn't be like a sudden thing necessarily. I think that a lot of people, that if it blows up, a lot of people with the most money in Tether, they would already go out before that. You know what I mean? Maybe it's just a guessing game.
It's like when Bitcoin disappeared. Most people did not leave on time.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's gonna be interesting. But the Tether FUD is already a thing for the last years, and yeah, until now it's only FUD. But
I mean, the same thing can be said about Yobit. Like Yobit was like one of the longest exchanges with lots of FUD around it, and it's still perfectly functioning as of today, right? So these things could end up just being around forever and not be shady. I mean, there's so much shady, so much bad PR on Yobit, like so much dirt on their hands. Yet technically they they still didn't do anything wrong, and to this day nobody really got their funds stolen.
I mean, but they did like planned pumps on random coins. They announced, and then they pumped coins.
Come on.
That was a bit. Come on, why?
Tell me an exchange which doesn't do that. Look at
publicly.
Yeah.
I mean, what was the BitTorrent ICO? Wasn't that a public pump?
Yeah, true. What do you think of Tron in general? Like the whole, is it in your point like a whole marketing coin? Is it all about that, or
okay.
does it have?
I love categorizing Tron, Substratum, maybe even ADA in the vaporware category. I don't want to touch. That's my personal opinion. I'm sorry if I offended your favorite coin, but I just those are coins I would rather not touch. It's like the same reason I don't hold any Tether, nor did I ever hold any Tether previously. That same reason don't want to hold any Tron or any Substratum or any even like ADA, for example.
Like with Tron, with Tron, I agree that it's too, like, Justin Sun is marketing everything, and it seems a bit too much in my opinion. Also, I don't see.
I mean, I really respect both Tron, both Substratum. I think they're some of the best. They're some of the best marketing teams in crypto at the moment, and I really respect them. I think we can learn a lot from them, but. Yeah. That doesn't change my opinion.
But it's definitely more about that's also what I'm saying. Like, I think it's definitely more about just building and working, and not about marketing. But about Cardano, Ada, you like, what do you think? Like the team is, they have a really good team, like coming from Ethereum, and they're taking it slow, but kind of doing good progress. I think it's a little bit different than with Tron.
But we don't need another. We do not need another like dApp infrastructure. Like we already have things like Steam, which have amazing dApps since the beginning of time. I mean, since like for a long time in crypto. Look at Steam Monsters. They're like the first, if not the second biggest crypto game right now. I mean, I personally love Steam, so that's my biased opinion. And I personally love Steam Monsters, right? However, I love them for a reason. I've used them both a lot, and they are functioning so good for such a long time already. We don't need another like decentralized exchange. We do not need another like place for dApps to be built.
Yeah.
Like the decentralized exchanges exist like forever with BitShares already.
Yeah, I mean, Cardano tries to, like, I think they're pretty similar to Ethereum anyways in a lot of things, but also they're yeah, I mean, like basically every protocol tries to tackle the scaling problem. But yeah, I think there is a point to diversify, like in different.
I mean,
like,
what is sorry to
protocols.
interrupt you? What is
Yeah.
Tron? Tron is just a cheap ripoff of
Yeah.
of BitShares and Steam and all these other graphite technologies.
Yeah, I
No
agree.
offense to Tron, but like sure, actually some development has been stolen by BitShares from Tron, but most development has also been stolen from Tron. By Tron from BitShares. So it's like at the end of the day, competition is healthy, and all these projects are all helping each
Yeah.
other, whether you guys see it or not. Because all development is interlinked. However, I just wouldn't put my money in it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But Cardano, the big difference between Tron and Cardano is that like, I think the founder of Cardano, Charles Hoskinson, he was like part of the Ethereum team, and part of the guys who invented it, alongside Vitalik, of course. And I don't think he would just do like a Ethereum ripoff with really everything like with unnecessary features, And I think that their project has a different approach to scaling, which could be relevant in the future. That's why I think it's not like a stupid idea to diversify in those projects. But Tron really
Sure.
seems to be super similar, or like a little worse, a little less, like very much less adopted than, for example, Steam
Oh yeah.
EOS.
or EOS, and yeah.
I think I've watched a couple of videos by Chico Crypto. He seems to be quite a big skeptic at the moment, and he said a lot of shady things about
About
Cardano, about
everything.
finance, and even though his opinion is also a bit biased, I do agree with him on a lot of points. And
Why is it
he was
biased?
he was just saying so much bad things about Cardano, for example, that I don't know. It's like the same thing happened with like Substratum. They had like so much FUD around them ever since they started, like ever since their ICO. They had so much FUD around them. It's unreal. And I think the only reason they're still around is because they just have such a good team to fight against FUD, to fight against. They banned and deleted so many messages from their Slack. I remember just watching their admins at work during their ICO. I was so impressed.
Yeah, and why is he biased? Like, I don't know.
Well, he's way too much negative towards Cardano. I mean, I'm negative, but I think he overdoes it. But
general,
that's
yeah,
that's his whole
But
that
that's
is
his style,
his whole.
right?
I mean, that's the way he makes
Yeah.
videos. So it's just his
Yeah.
style, yes.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. So
Speaking of YouTubers, Crypto Daily is my favorite YouTuber, and if you guys are not subscribed, you better subscribe to Crypto Daily.
definitely very good content, and very funny as well.
Very well edited.
Yeah. All right. I think that would be it from our side. Anything else you want to add, Nicholas? What should people prepare for the next live stream? What should we talk about next time? Anything you have in mind?
I think we'll see some interesting topics happen in the following days with some more government. How do you want to call this? I guess it's more of a like a. It's essentially just a big reality show. Like
Yeah.
that's the way. That's how I see governments these days. It's just a huge reality show for the masses, and I think we'll see some interesting things happen outside of crypto, which might affect it in one way or the other. And then we can just see what bits and pieces we can pick up and see through the fog and try to see the real picture.
Exactly.
And
if you
yeah.
guys, sorry.
You guys gotta just stay really critical and just bunker down and survive this bear market. It could be already over and we don't know it.
Exactly. And if you guys have any questions left, just write it in the comments and we'll talk about it next time. Next week, next Sunday, same time. So
Sounds good.
Yeah. All right.
Thank you for making it all the way to the end. You're awesome. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.